Hello, welcome to Work Hard, Dream Harder. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Tia, and we're just two best friends waffling about life and trying to survive until we're 30.
Hello guys, welcome back. We're back with another banger after banger.
I don't know where she's got this from. We have not agreed on that.
Haven't we?
No.
I thought it was a thing. So this month we're talking about being an adult.
Okay. Don't know why she's pointing at me. Do not feel
Because
like an
Tia,
adult.
right, I feel like is the commencement of bitch, I've got responsibilities.
Not out of choice.
Yeah, out of necessity, not even, yeah. But me, I'm just like, not YOLO, more like, I'm just trying to figure it out, still under my mother's roof.
But like, adulting takes many different forms.
And we're going to talk about the first time we thought when you're adults is getting that job, the first job.
Yeah, like when
Not first job, but a job.
Yeah, when we're talking about being an adult, like, and how adulting really feels, the first thing you think about is your job, because that is like the biggest thing to do with adulting, really, in our opinion. And we just thought it'd be kind of interesting to talk about kind of like our jobs, because we are not in what people would
Conditional, what is typically a career job, office bullshit, 9 to 5.
When people think of careers, they think of like offices and
working for the government, like
I don't know, more
like skilled. Like you go get a degree, but even then again, is that being in a corporate environment, a 9 to 5, 5 days a week?
That sort of thing. And that's what everyone thinks about when you say job or career, isn't it? And it's like, well, can't relate.
Can't relate. I can't relate because I'm a part-time girly.
I wish.
And when I mean part-time, I mean 8 hours. However, I am a freelance creative.
As well as the part-time job.
So I keep saying today, well, I only work 8 hours, but then again, I realised I do other shit. This podcast, trying to do freelance, trying to do creative shit. So technically, on my CV, I am part-time 8 hours, but then again, I do a load of other shit.
Yeah, you do loads of other stuff as well. And I don't know, so we work in retail and hospitality. Like we said, no one thinks of it as like actually a career. It'd be kind of interesting to think to discuss what we think about whether we think it is a career or not.
So for me, because I'm the hierarchy, I am an associate, just a fancy word for an employee. So to be honest, I'm the runt. I am on the hierarchy. I am, at the bottom, because I'm just an associate, not a manager or a manager or that stuff.
Yeah.
However, I've always said, for a lot of creative people, that retail job is their gateway, like an actor or a performer, they have their secure contracted maybe 20 hours, 8 hours. That makes them the money, and then they can do their side gigs. So for me, it's nothing to look down upon. For me, it's a gateway. It's a gateway between, I know I have X amount of money coming in, but I've still got time to, volunteer in an organisation, be less risk averse with the stuff, because I live at home, so I'm at that luxury of
I think most people live at home.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's a luxury in itself. So
no, I'm joking, because everyone's home is where they live, no matter whether their parents are there or not.
Ha ha ha. So I always viewed it as just a gateway till I get that gig or that proper work for someone in the creative industry. But I've realised, talking to creative people, that safe job is very important for them to take those risks in their career.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have a full-time job, and I've worked my way up to a management position. And I'm on the fence about whether it's a career or not, because it technically is. Like, I mean, I'm quite comfortable where I am now with the job I've got now. I think one more promotion would be nice. And once I've had that promotion, which hopefully will be coming in the next few years, I guess we'll find out. That'll be, technically I could do that for the rest of my life and I'm solid. I'm making enough money to pay my bills and making enough money to live. Technically I don't need any more. So that's technically a career.
However, is that where your passion lies? Like,
for me, a job is just a job. I want my passion outside of my job. I want to do what I want outside of my job. But I think
a lot of people get stuck in a job that just makes the money, but then they don't have anything that they enjoy doing.
No, so I don't dislike my job. I enjoy my job. My job's a good job. It's not a passion. So I think for me, trying to do your passion as a job, it then no longer becomes a passion, which is, you know, we've hit that last series. But you need to be able to enjoy your job, which I do, 100%. I can't remember what point I was making. What did you say?
I was just saying that, is it a passion? It's not a passion, it's a terrible, like...
Yeah.
It's there for a purpose of... Like when I said a creative person has a job that makes them money, that's where that happens. That job is just there. But on the other side, you do stuff that you like.
So my job, I enjoy, I like.
You tolerate, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good job. I'm fine with it. If I did it for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be thrilled, but I also wouldn't really care that much. To me, the job is a means to an end. It pays for my bills and it pays for me to do what I actually want to do. So I want to go travelling. I want to go to different countries. I know I did indoor skydiving last year. Maybe I'd like to do actual skydiving. Like, I want to actually enjoy my life and do things and have fun experiences. And for me, that job is there for that.
I feel like you're at a luxury realizing that, but a lot of these people who say they want to do like a creative thing, they get locked in the secure salary paid job, and that takes most of their time because that's what makes it secure. But I think what I like about you take out of the day to do this podcast, right?
Yeah.
You go out your way to do shit like that. But then again, I think a lot is going back to that episode we were talking about purpose, right? People don't realise they're stuck till they burn out.
Yeah.
And I think, fuck it, like, if people look down upon retail, which sucks, we were saying we need to do, like, what was it, national service or something.
Oh, yeah, we'll get back to that later, honestly. Like, so, you know, some people say that it's not a proper job and you're not actually working hard. Are the same people who have never worked in retail or hospitality.
Oh my God.
Working with the general public, oh my gosh. Some of them I love. We have a lot of customers that come in, they know my name, I know their name. I absolutely adore them. They're the sweetest people ever. But a lot of the general public, it's probably the minority, to be fair.
Yeah.
But they make such a big impact. They are arseholes. Oh my God.
That's why I say everybody should just experience being behind there, because there's shit, like, I remember for a temporary Asda job, I did the click and collect during Christmas, and the way that we have it, the system was like you have to find it, and then you could have 20 people waiting, and then they're just like moaning, and I'm just like, well, there's only one person behind there getting all your ish, right? And just the hostility, it makes you have a thick skin.
Honestly,
as someone who works as retail, I think for me, because I was in the fitting rooms, I don't get the brunt of what the tills and the people on the floor get. But I feel like
it gets bad quickly. I mean, an example that happened to me literally just last month. So I work in a cinema. I think I've mentioned it probably a million times in this podcast already. And, you know, we don't have people sat in the auditoriums all day watching the films with you. That is a real waste of everyone's time. So we do like regular checks in the screen, like where an operative would like go in, check the visual, audio quality of the film, make sure all the lights are working or off if they need to be off, and like kind of making sure that no one's on their phone or messing about. And one of my operatives grabbed me last week, because I'm a manager, to let me know that someone was on their phone in a screen. So I went in, and all I asked is if they could put their phone away for the duration of the film. This bloke, oh my gosh, started kicking off at me, calling me every slur under the sun, told me that I'd ruined his kid's birthday, you know, all of that stuff. And it's like, no, you've ruined it. So basically, I found out that this family were talking, there was 4 of them, a man, woman and 2 girls, and they were talking really loudly throughout the whole film, and it was really annoying everyone in the film. I think it was only 20 minutes in, annoying everyone all the way through the film. Was going on their phones, and do you know when you're in like a pitch black room and someone gets their phone up, it just lights up everywhere around them. So we have a no phones in the screens policy, just like 99% of other cinemas do. And we also have a no talking in the screens policy,
Makes
which
sense.
99% of other cinemas also have. Like if you want to talk, you want to go on your phone, just step out for a second.
Yeah.
You're allowed to go back in, it's fine, but like just not in the auditorium, because you're disrupting other people who have paid money to see this film.
And it's not cheap going to cinemas.
It's really not. And so all I'd asked for was for them to quieten down and for him to put his phone away. And I was a slag, and I was a twat, and I was a tart, and I was a bitch, and I'd ruined their life. And I was like, look, I'm really sorry, guys. All I'm asking you to do is to stop talking because you're disrupting other customers, and to put away your phone because you're disrupting other customers. I don't give a fuck what they think. So I ended up having to pause the film because a lot of people were getting really irate. They ended up threatening my life, saying that they hope I die in my sleep and that I never wake up, and that my mum's the worst fucking bitch in the world for giving birth to me. Honestly. And then on the way out, they thought this woman, this really sweet woman on her own with her kid, they thought she'd reported them. So on his way out, he squared up to her and was like, this is your fault, slag, I'll be waiting for you afterwards, and was like threatening to beat her up. Like, what on earth? Like, it escalated so quickly, and customers are like this all the time.
And you know what I find funny is the people who escalate to that level know they're in the wrong. And when I'm on the tills, the rare occasion, we always say that if our original tag's on the item and you don't have a receipt, we're like, okay, because the original price is on there. But when you've taken the original tag off and say have no receipt, we don't accept that, because it's just like, because the way TK Maxx works, we don't know what we've got in stock, right? Because it's like different things all the time. And the amount of people start complaining.
So also the case, if you don't have a receipt, how do we not know you've just stolen it and trying to return it for money?
Yeah, and it's just like, there's simple rules, and it's just like...
Oh gosh, you reminded me, like, I think it was just after Christmas, this lady comes up to the counter and she said, I wasn't there, well, I was there, but she wasn't talking to me initially. She just goes up to my colleague and she goes, the popcorn was shit. And we're like... Did
you eat it all?
Yeah, I mean, my colleague was just like, she was new, bless her, she didn't really know how to handle it. She was like, oh, I'm really sorry, we pop it all fresh at my cinema. She was like, we pop it all fresh, I'm really sorry it wasn't to your taste. Like, what else do you do? Like, she was she wasn't sure how to handle it. This woman goes, well, you're not giving me my money back, and she starts like effing and blinding at her, and it's like, Jesus, like, it's only popcorn, it's okay.
Yeah.
And like, do you know, if someone starts eating it and they don't like it, I swap it for them for free. I swap it to a different flavour for free. It's not a problem. Like, you have paid for it, I want you to enjoy it. If you've eaten half of it, I'm a bit like, no.
Did you really hate it?
Yeah, like, no. But if they've just started eating it and they go, actually, I don't like this, I will swap the flavour for them, no problem at all. Or if they want to swap it for a different food item, like, fine. It's fine, you know? But she comes at the end of her film and says that she didn't like the popcorn and we need to give her the money back for it. Not only did she not have the popcorn in question, she also didn't have a receipt and couldn't tell us how she'd paid for this popcorn. And it's a bit like...
Okay, yeah.
No. And then she starts... So I get called over because I'm the manager on shift, and she's demanding money back from me, and I ask her for the popcorn, and she goes, chucked it away. And I go, oh, well, unfortunately, we can't refund something that you've discarded of.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I'll just get the popcorn. I was like, but you could be getting anyone's popcorn out the bin.
Yeah.
And she just looks at me and she's like, are you calling me a fucking liar? And I just kind of, I wanted to look at her and go, yeah, but obviously you can't say that.
Yeah.
But it's like, over popcorn, like, come on. Like, if you would have told us straight away, like, this is my biggest gripe with customers. If there is a problem, if there is an issue, tell me straight away and I will fix it. If the sound isn't working, which very, very rarely happens, if the sound isn't working or the picture's not filling the screen, you know, technical issues happen. It's a cinema. Very, very rarely does it happen. But people always tell me right at the end. And I'm like, right, let me just get my time machine, go back in time 2 hours and fix it for you. Like, there's nothing I can do. I want to fix it for you. I want you to enjoy your experience, but I cannot if you tell me at the end.
Oh, mine, when I used to work at a photo shop where we did passports, my biggest gripe was, oh, they didn't accept it. And we're like, okay, but where's your receipt? Oh, isn't this proof? And I was like, receipt? Or I've spent so much money on this and you're not going to say if you
could have taken that anywhere.
And I'm just like, if you bloody had the receipt still. And then we always make, if it doesn't go through, we're like, yeah, we'll do it again. But you don't have the receipt. And because I'm in the fit room, I hate when people just give me this shit and not put on the hangers. I'm like,
Thanks.
My one of my colleagues said, just say, oh, can you put it on the hanger? I can't count it properly. Just these little deference techniques. And I realised as an employee, like retail, or you can be like, oh, sorry, how can I help you? I'm sorry that you experienced this. And it's just like, I'm just like, but I'm not sorry yet. You're just a horrible. It's like, you have to just kill them with kindness.
The thing is, I think we're portraying probably a bad image of ourselves here. I think sometimes I genuinely feel for the person in question.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes there is genuinely an issue that genuinely needs to be fixed and you genuinely want to help them.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, this is a non-issue. This is like, why are you shouting at me?
Yeah.
I'm trying my hardest to help you. Like, a couple of weeks ago, there was a fight in the cinema. Again, very, very rare that happens. And I have no idea what's going on. And I go up to this bloke who everyone starts pointing at. And I'm like, hey, you okay? What's happened? And he goes, I'm not telling you. You're going to protect us. And it's like, I wanted to help you. Now you're swearing and shouting at me. Now I have to bar you. If you would have just spoken to me nicely, we could have sat down, spoke about it and seen what's going on.
We're talking about the extreme versions.
Oh, but the thing is, the reason we're talking about them is because they're so extreme. They stay in our memory. And it's like, you probably noticed with what I'm talking about, like a few weeks ago, a few months ago, like they're few and far between, these extreme
But they stick to you because
they're so extreme and horrible.
Because a lot of people, like, I think it's always those people who always just are not in a good mood and you don't know what people go through, but it's just like, I think
people forget that service workers are humans as well. Like, they forget that we have lives and feelings and they just see us in uniform. Well, I don't wear uniform, but they just see us as a uniformed robot and I don't think they click. But on the flip side, I have some lovely customers who are regulars and they come in all the time and they know my name and they're walking about, oh, Tia, how are you? And I know their names and like I know what's going on in their life and what home renovations they're having at the moment and what holiday they're going on next. And those customers make it.
So
they really do.
I always try to make conversation with the because when women are trying this stuff, it's always the men around waiting. So I always test the waters. If I say have you been here long? Were you busy today? If they start the conversation, I start the conversation. What's nice is when they go back to your manager and be like, oh, that person is lovely, I'll give you a review.
I love it. All right.
Yeah.
It happened to me a few months ago. Someone came up to me and they was like, oh, are you the manager? And I'm thinking, oh God, what? Like, because every time someone wants a manager, it's always about something bad. And he comes up to me and he goes, that member of staff over there, and points to one of my operatives, says, he just gave me the best customer service of my life and was telling me about everything he'd done. And that made my day.
And that makes my day when people go out their way to like...
It means a lot, doesn't it?
And I'm just like, oh, okay. And I like when they just talk, especially when I'm in the fitting room, ask my opinion, have a little conversation. I always ask, oh, what? Yeah, and I think regardless, sometimes a job's just to enter a means.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier. Like, if you had a side hustle of being an actor or an artist, right? That is guaranteed what will make you money, and then hopefully it's just a stepping stone, right? You see a lot of retail's a lot of people's first jobs.
Yeah, retail was my first job before I went into hospitality.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do hospitality.
Working in both, because I've had a few jobs, retail, in my opinion, was easier. You still get arsehole customers that you can't. But what I like about retail is the biggest issues I kind of had was we didn't have something in stock.
Yeah.
That would always gripe people, but it's a bit like there's literally nothing I can do. It is not in stock.
Because I'm always in the fitting room, and because of we're a TK Maxx, and if you don't know a TK Maxx, I think in America it's like TJ Marshalls or something like that, or TJX. But it's basically we don't know what we've got, so I'm just like, oh, I can get my because I'm in the fitting room. I can't leave the fitting room. It says, oh, if we don't have it, we'll probably got it stuck. And I explain, and I'm like, I can get a colleague to find it, but I'm like, I don't have to deal with it because 99% it might not be there. But I just say I can get someone to have a look, but I'll explain if it's not there, we don't have any back, and then they're like, ugh. But I'm like, I'm speaking the truth.
They always get really thingy. Do you remember Fortnite Monopoly?
Yeah.
That was a massive thing, like 5 or so years ago. I was working in a toy shop at the time. Might have been 6 years ago, actually. 6 years ago, I think it was. Fortnite Monopoly came out. And this was massive, right? And for the week up to Christmas, we had parents coming in left, right, centre asking for Fortnite Monopoly, and we'd sold our last one 2 weeks before Christmas. So it's all these like lastminute.com parents who don't have it. And I was the worst person in the world to them in that moment and on that day, but that's because they are stressed, they are anxious, their kid wants this, and
choose your battles.
They waited too late. So when I was in retail, I think the biggest gripe customers had was things not being in stock. That was the biggest issue I had, and it is literally, I can try and put an order in for you, but
there's no guarantee it's coming.
And also, especially close to Christmas, I think it's a 2-week delay on orders, and every other time of the year it's like 5 days. So like I can do an order for you, but it won't arrive on time. But that was like the biggest gripe from customers, I think, just things not being in stock. But with that, you tell them it's not in stock, they have a bit of a moan, they might stomp their feet and then they leave and they're out the shop. Yeah. With hospitality, they are on your site for 3 hours. I have to deal with them for 3 hours if they are an arsehole customer. We have some customers that come in and out of screens and in and out of screens just to have a go at us for no reason, and we've got to try and keep this customer satisfied for 3 hours. It is a lot more difficult, and it's the same with like restaurants, because it's 3 hours for us because of films. With restaurants it's a couple of hours because they're sat and they're eating maybe 1 hour,
and especially if you're the server, the one who has to
no, my balls.
That's going to be a catchphrase now. If you don't know, we've got fidget toys and TSU to it off there. I forget there's some audio listeners, but yeah, I think you got to do what you have to do. If you're there for a couple of years, so what? You're making means like.
Well, even if you're there for your entire life, it is a career for you.
Because
it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be great to have a job that I love, but I also know that my sort of personality, no matter what I love, once it becomes a job, I no longer enjoy it. So as long as I am okay and satisfied with my job and I'm happy with it, that's fine by me, as long as I am using the money from that to enjoy the rest of my life.
Did you put anything else?
Just national server.
Yeah, and that's why we think everybody should be in the shoes of the
so like, we've just been telling about our horror stories of retail and hospitality. Do you know, like, national service, how that used to be a thing where, like...
By military.
So I think everyone, like, went to the army or something. Yeah. I can't really remember what it was. I think it would be so funny if everyone at age 16 had to work a few months in retail or hospitality.
And I think...
mate.
and for no money.
Do you know all of the Karen customers?
Yeah.
90% of Karen customers have never worked retail or hospitality themselves. Right? Do you know when I'm working and something's gone terribly wrong, the people who are most understanding are those who have worked in retail hospitality. They go, oh, I get it. Oh, this happened to me as well. Like they are the best customers.
I do
so
that.
I think if everyone, I do it as well.
It's like I end up. They're like, oh, like apologize. I was like, cool, you just doing his job.
I think I was in where was it, B&M or something the other day, and I was trying to purchase something, and the card machine was just having a paddy fit. And it happens to me at work every so often. Card machines, it's technology, they'll do what they want, and people get really irate with you because it's taking a minute to load. Yeah. It's like, I promise it'll be working. And this B&M worker, a young lad, bless him, you could tell he was quite new, and he was getting really stressed. He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for this. And I just look at him and go, it's all right, they happen at my work all the time, I get it. He just looked at me and went, thank you for understanding. The last 5 people have been arses. And I'm like, it's fine, just take your time, it's okay.
Yeah, so that's why I think, what's that saying? Walking a mile in my shoes or something? Yeah. That kind of thing.
Honestly, I think it'd be so funny if everyone had to work retail and hospitality just for a few months, or maybe like 1 month, just so they can understand and see what it's like.
Because I think as well, people look down upon retail jobs because you've got to be, like, because of the hierarchy of jobs, right? You have, like, the NHS, you're saving people's lives. You have corporate...
Oh, God, I would never be able to work NHS. They must be treated way worse than hospitality.
But, I mean, there's, like, 2 people that are, you're just retail, but I'm like...
You need retail
workers, otherwise it's like that circle of life type of thing. And
if you didn't have retail workers, if you didn't have restaurant servers, you wouldn't have shops, you wouldn't have restaurants.
So that's why I think it's important to understand that. So that's why I was just like, ship them off to the nearest TK Maxx or Tesco's. Because it just, and for us, it helps us build thicker skin. And you learn not to take shit personally. And you know the people, if they've been there for ages, I'm just like, and they're like...
Yeah, honestly, do you know, like 4 years ago, if I got spoken to like I get spoken to now by customers, I actually would have gone into a back room and cried. And now I walk away from altercations just going, meh. And staff are always saying like, are you okay? You're not shaken up? And I'm like, meh.
It is what it is.
I'm fine. I know they didn't mean it. They don't personally hate me. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so comment down below if you...
Tell us your horror stories.
Yeah, if you work in retail, give them a shout. If not...
Don't give us a shout. I'm kidding. Do give us a shout. Tell us what you do. What is your job?
Tell me if you're working at TK Maxx or a cinema.
Yeah. And tell me what cinema. I want to know if you're a traitor. I'm joking. I love all cinemas. We're all friends here.
She works at a bougie one, not your chain. Oh, the chain.
It is a chain. Yeah. Don't give them details. I don't want people stalking me.
Cineworld. R.I.P.
Yeah, definitely. They're all closing down. Whoops.
But I think there's no such thing as a secure job as well, so you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
We're coming to the end of the episode. Thank you for listening. Like we say, work hard, but dream even harder.